What's good, everyone? OJ here. Welcome back to another video. Today we've got some awesome information and we're starting out with Paper Mario: The Thousand Year Door. People are really anticipating exactly how well this game did, because for many Paper Mario fans, this is one of the best, if not the best, Mario RPG series game. And in the last decade or so, probably 2 decades at this point, they've kind of veered off track in terms of what makes the Mario RPG series and Paper Mario series so great. So people are wondering exactly how this is doing. Well, we have a bit of an update when it comes down to it. Now, the UK charts, Paper Mario: The Thousand Year Door was the #1 game for the past week, in addition to it selling right around where Paper Mario: The Origami King sold. Now, for a remake compared to a new game, that's really good. And the digital ratio of Nintendo's games have been going up and up. So it's very likely that Paper Mario: The Thousand Year Door has sold considerably better digitally than what we saw with Paper Mario: The Origami King, if you compare the digital sales, just because of a bigger install base. You have the vouchers. There's so many different factors at this point. So very good on that front. And to keep it going with the digital side of things, if you look at the digital sales for the US and for Japan, the eShop charts, Paper Mario: The Thousand Year Door is still the #1 game at full price there for the past week plus. So that's definitely a good sign as well, that they're getting plenty of physical sales, plenty of digital sales, and things are going well with the game. Now, even if you look at the Famitsu sales numbers for the past week, Paper Mario: The Thousand Year Door was the #1 game on there, selling 115,649 units, not including digital sales. So if you include digital, it's probably the best opening ever for a Paper Mario game, because Croc actually put together the best openings, and a lot of the ones that are at the top here, like Super Paper Mario and all that, they didn't even have digital sales at that point. There wasn't a digital storefront. There was for some of them, but for the top, there wasn't. And Paper Mario: The Thousand Year Door is right up there with them with no digital. And it's #1 in the Japanese eShop chart and in the US eShop. But obviously for this one, we're talking about Japanese sales, #1 in the Japanese eShop chart. So I'm guessing it did well enough there too. So absolutely, Paper Mario: The Thousand Year Door is going good. Also on Amazon, #1 game in new video game releases, right up there, #1. So all across the board, whether it's the UK charts, the Japanese charts, the eShop charts in multiple regions, Paper Mario: The Thousand Year Door seems to be a big hit, and it's probably already or very close to outselling the original GameCube game, which sold right around 2 million units. So that's definitely good. It's going to pass it up. I think it's going to sell better than Super Mario RPG when it's all said and done. I think this game has a lot more longevity to it, and we are going to see Paper Mario return back to form when it comes to the future, because Nintendo's even doing out surveys and different stuff. So I think this is a positive sign overall for Paper Mario, for the RPG fans out there, and I love this game. I've put 20+ hours into it. I've got a big video coming up on it as well, and I think that this game is phenomenal. It is a very fun game to play. I enjoy the RPG elements. I think Intelligent Systems really cooked on this one. They took a lot of ideas from the original game, Super Mario RPG, well, the original RPG, from the original Paper Mario game, Paper Mario N64, and kind of put it all into this and added a bunch of flair, and this remake is fantastic. The only thing is that 30 frames instead of 60 would have been nice if it was 60. Even if they did like a split thing, like 60 in battles and 30 outside, I think that would have even been fine. But either way, it's still super fun to play, and I really enjoy my time with the game so far. So what do you guys think about Paper Mario: The Thousand Year Door? Let me know in the comment section. All right, and moving on to the next topic here, guys. We do have a bit of an update on Phantasy Star Online, courtesy of Midori, and it got me really excited during my live stream and me looking over what topics I was going to discuss in a video. But then I read the second tweet from her, and then I ultimately got nowhere near as excited, if her information is correct. So Phantasy Star Online's, this could be good or this could be bad, based off of what is said here. So Midori on Twitter was talking about a variety of things, which we will get into something else that she said, but she's talking about a PSO spinoff series. So this is what she said on Twitter. There is a new PSO series spinoff in development that is supposed to release in current fiscal year. This title is sometimes referred to as Oxy Hudson or Orbit at Sega. PSO2 NGS is Oxymantis. That was definitely good. I was excited. A PSO spin-off series, so maybe they're moving away from the online focus and you can be more like Phantasy Star, the original, like the GameCube games. That would be super cool, because I'm a huge fan of the original RPG Phantasy Stars, and Phantasy Star Online on the GameCube, and I played a little bit of the Xbox 360 version, but really for me, the GameCube games 1 and 2, the split screen multiplayer, the offline play, the missions and everything, it was so good. They set that up such a good way to play Phantasy Star Online or an online game. If you have the capabilities, you can do it, but if you don't, you can play so much content offline, and I love that about the game. But then, of course, they went to Phantasy Star Online 2, and the rest is history. It's kind of all online stuff. So I was excited, but then here comes the follow-up tweet. There was somebody that asked Midori a question saying, can you confirm whether or not it's a mobile title? If so, this may the previously announced sequel to Phantasy Star Online 2 ES. So Midori responds with this. This is the upsetting part. The platforms were undecided for a long time, and I have not received new information, but it is a gas spinoff, so games as a service. So it's essentially going to be like Phantasy Star Online 2 and like that, which I don't understand. If you're going to do a spinoff series, why have it be the same thing as that same series? I don't understand why it'd be a gas title when you could have made something that was more grounded and offline, but still maybe did some online stuff with the game and get that money for a online multiplayer type of title or a gas game. I think it's just weird that they wouldn't go with a fully more offline game if this is correct. Now, once again, this is rumor at this point, but Midori's been good on so many different things, but it is upsetting for myself as someone who's an old school Phantasy Star Online on the GameCube fan, that it's going to be more of the gas stuff that they've done. It just shows me that Sega, if it turns out to be correct, is not necessarily caring about the Phantasy Star Online series and returning it to its former glory. They don't care about the original Phantasy Star as much. They don't care about Phantasy Star on the GameCube as much. And I think they care more about what they're making with Phantasy Star Online 2 and how that's going, because apparently it's really successful for them. They've been running this series for decades plus now, right? When it comes down to the newer Phantasy Star Online 2 game that came out. So yeah, upsetting for myself, but understandable if that's the route that they want to go. Obviously, Phantasy Star Online does not have the series cachet that it used to have, but I think that with the Nintendo Switch and the Switch 2, I think you can build something awesome. PS4, PS5, there could be something incredible as a normal Phantasy Star game or a GameCube style Phantasy Star Online that has a lot of single player and offline content and don't need to be connected online for every single thing that you do in the game for the most part. So it is what it is. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section, but we are going to move on to another Midori topic here, and that is The Legend of Zelda Twilight Princess. This game has been the Nintendo Switch boogeyman at this point. Well, if you include Wind Waker, we've been waiting for both of these games for quite a long time, and we have another rumor, we have another source that's saying that it's done, it's ready. Nintendo just isn't releasing it. So on Twitter, Midori was talking about this, and they were asked a question about The Legend of Zelda Twilight Princess Remastered because Midori went over the new Zelda game. So for those who don't know, I'm going to read off what she had to say here. And she originally said that there is a project at Nintendo with the codename Edward. This might be related to the rumors of a new Zelda series title, but I don't really think it's rumors of a new Zelda series title. Nintendo always has a new Zelda series title in development. There's never a time that there isn't a Zelda game in development, and not just remaster or remake, but an actual new Zelda game. They're always working on it, maybe like for like a month or two after they finish the current Zelda game, but there's always somebody thinking of ideas. Same thing for Mario. Mario, there's always something when it comes down to it. Mario Kart, there's always something. Despite Mario Kart 8 being 10 years old at this point, they're always making something for like the big, massive titles. So obviously it makes sense when it comes down to a Zelda game being in development. But a user asked this, The Legend of Zelda Twilight Princess Remastered. So he was trying to say, oh, well, what you're talking about is that game. And then Midori chimed in back saying, no, I do not know why Nintendo is not releasing it yet. So she's saying it's not that. She's saying that this Twilight Princess game has been done. And I'm guessing with Wind Waker, it's been done. So what we found out with Paper Mario The Thousand Year Door is that Nintendo had that game done for about a year before it released, and maybe even longer than that. In terms of its certification, it was done a year ago. So Nintendo has probably had these games done for a while. We've gotten rumors all the way back to like 2021 where people were saying, hey, It's coming out. It's coming out this year, and it didn't happen. We saw that with Metroid Prime, where it's coming out, and then it didn't happen. Then it finally happened in 2023, and we heard that it was certified or whatever a year before that, in like 2022 or 2021 or whatever the case is, right? So Nintendo's probably sitting on a number of games, and they sit on these games because they want to slot them in. They want to have their games that are selling, and they want to slot them in at the right point. So we could see Wind Waker and Twilight Princess again for like the millionth time. People always ask about this, but we could see it at the end of this year. We could see it in the middle. Nintendo has a direct coming up, and I think that these two games could probably be announced, and we'll see how they decide to package it and what it actually ends up being. Is it straight up just ports of it? Are they more high-end remasters of the game? We don't know at this point, but it seems like it's going to be more of like a port with some updates to it to run on the Nintendo Switch. So we'll see what happens there, but we're going to move on to the last topic here, and that is Tomba. Not Tomba, I think it's Tomba. Tomba Special Edition launches on August 1st for the PS5, Switch, and PC, and later for the PlayStation 4. Shout out to my man MVG. This is his game. He's very excited and proud about it. So I do want to talk about it here. So Tomba returns in Tomba Special Edition, the ultimate version of the legendary platforming masterpiece, on August 1st. As the titular Tomba, you leap, bite, and throw your way across stunning 2.5D landscapes on a quest to overcome a deplorable charade of nefarious pigs. Along the way, you'll explore ancient relics, discover fascinating characters, unlock thrilling quests, and unearth hidden treasures. It's a platforming adventure that perfectly fuses linear and non-linear gameplay styles. Tomba was first published in 1997 and is back today in a vastly expanded special edition packed with quality of life improvements. Here are some of the key features as well. Save anywhere. No more worrying about heading back to a checkpoint. Rewind. Stuck on a difficult challenge? Try again. Toggle for analog control. A museum crammed with classic print advertisements, original packaging and manuals, never before seen dev documents, and high-res original artwork. A new remastered soundtrack. And there's also an interview with the Tomba creator as well. You can check that out on the PlayStation blog. This is awesome stuff to see. I love to see my friends doing well. I know MVG is very proud of Tomba, but I played the game back in the day. Whenever I used to go to these mom and pop shops where you can rent out games on systems that you don't own, I used to rent out Tomba for $1 an hour or like $2 an hour, and I would play Tomba on the PS1, and it was a lot of fun. I really enjoyed the game, so I'm looking forward to actually owning it for once. So I'm really looking forward to actually owning the game this time and playing it. So it's coming to Switch, it's coming to PS5, it's coming to PC via Steam, and it'll be on PlayStation 4 at a later date. We don't know what that date is, but it'll be after August 1st. So good stuff there. So what do you guys think overall about everything that we discussed, from Paper Mario the Thousand Year Door sales to PSO, what's going on with that game, The Legend of Zelda Twilight Princess, and Wind Waker, and how Nintendo's just holding on to it, it seems, according to Midori, and of course Tomba? Let me know in the comment section below. All right, guys, that wraps it up for this video here. Thank you so much for watching. I do appreciate it. Please make sure you hit that like button, subscribe if you're someone new, click that notification bell, and check out my other Nintendo Switch RPG news videos and more right here on screen. Thanks for watching, and we'll catch you guys for the next one. Peace.